I'm feeling so clean.
You're listening to the Not So Black and White Real Estate Podcast with your hosts, Sir Colin Campbell and Gary A. McGowan.
Good afternoon. It's your host, Colin Campbell, here with Gary A. McGowan, and you're tuned into the Not So Black and White Real Estate Podcast. We are on site right now at one of the largest real estate conferences in the world. It's a Keller Williams conference. It's called Family Reunion. We're here, and we are sitting down with a distinguished gentleman.
There you go. Which may have made him smile.
He's like, I've never been called that.
No, never.
Someone who is new to the Keller Williams family. It's just an honor and a privilege to be sitting down and having conversation and breaking bread with you earlier this week. My brother from another mother, Paul Fitzpatrick.
There you go.
Thanks, Sir Colin, and thank you, Gary. It's an honor and a pleasure to be here.
Good.
Absolutely. And what an event. I mean, I've been to other conventions, but this is my first family reunion, and such an impressive event. Just came from our keynote speaker from Monday, Ed Mylet, and wow, it's probably one of the most powerful speeches and talks that I've ever heard.
Yeah, I will back you on that 100%. Ed Mylet, if you haven't heard him, search him on YouTube. He's everywhere, Instagram. An auditorium of 14,000 people, not a dry eye in there.
Yeah.
And
Absolutely.
And that's because he spoke to the heart. He spoke from the heart to the heart.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right? His message there was, I want to change lives today. I truly believe he did that, which is pretty cool.
Absolutely. And what really resonated with me was going back a year when I started having conversations about joining KW.
Well, before we get into you joining Keller Williams, tell us who Paul is.
Oh,
There you go. Good idea. Who is this dude?
Who's this dude? And who cares if you join Keller Williams?
Yeah.
We've been hanging out all week, and I love him.
We love this guy.
Thank you. Well, I'm one of the old guys in the industry. I've been around 35 years. Been with a couple of different brokerages over those years, but I was with the same broker the whole time. About 12 years ago, decided I wanted to expand my world a bit, needed a bigger challenge, and opened up my own independent brokerage.
Okay.
We started with 4 people, and within a couple of years, we grown it to 40, 45 people, and number 4 in our marketplace, which is Guelph, Ontario, just an hour west of Toronto. And it's been a ride. It's been a lot of fun. For fun, I like to do a thing called an Ironman triathlon, and I've done 10 of those over the last 15 years.
Well, we need to talk offline because it's one of my goals, and it's the one goal on my list that scares me the most. So we will talk about this,
Absolutely.
but oh my goodness, I didn't know that.
There's an Ironman in you wanting out, so we'll talk. You'll love it.
Free him.
And just, I could go off all day on that, but just doing that and planning for it is such a metaphor for everything else that I've done in life over those years. Just incredible. So that's me. It's pretty average.
I don't think it is, but that's my view. Okay, so let's talk about decisions and life's opportunities and things like that. And it sounded like, or not did it sound like, you were having a very successful career, and the independent brokers that you had certainly got traction and gained traction, and probably felt pretty comfortable where you were.
And that's right. It was very comfortable. We were doing okay. We were profitable. We were growing, albeit 1, 2, 3, maybe a year net. But I felt now that I was ready for another challenge, and there was just something in me that said I need a different opportunity. And that's when Andre Chin,
Yes.
Who's got the MC in our neighboring community of Kitchener-Waterloo, we sat down, coffee, lunch, got chatting, and it was just exploring the different opportunities that Keller Williams offered really resonated with me, and said that's the missing thing. And I realized what I was missing all these years was a peer group, a group of like-minded individuals, people that had already walked the path that I was trying to go down. And it just, boom, it was just one of those moments, those seminal moments in my life where I went, this is the right move.
So, Paul, let's just spend some time a bit on that, because you
Okay.
mentioned you've been in the industry 35 years.
Yep.
Someone in the industry 35 years is not looking for a new challenge. They're looking pretty much to get out of the industry or to just step back.
Yep.
I don't know if it's that Iron Man inside of you to say, okay, let's make this harder. So you decided, okay, I'm going to open up my own independent brokerage. And you grew that.
Mm-hmm.
And then after that, you decided, okay, I'm going to go run with a different flag. Like, what is inside of you that is constantly looking to upgrade where you are?
That's such a great question, and I've asked myself that so many times. And I think there's just this drive in me that says, there's one more thing I want to do. I'm not done. I mean, I had people knocking on my door saying, there's a shift in the market coming. What are you going to do? Are you not ready to retire? Are you not ready to sell out and, just hand the brokerage over to somebody else to run? And that wasn't the case. Mm-hmm. And really, part of what drove me to KW was the fact that the culture resonated so well with what the culture we had developed as an independent, but it also gave me a much clearer path for that eventual exit that I want. Mm-hmm. Start talking about as an owner, getting out of the operational side of it into an actual owner side, and the entrepreneurial opportunities that KW just opened my eyes up in a massive way to what I had been missing over the last 10 years. Because I thought, everything can be bought off the shelf. I don't need anybody. I don't need anything else. But, I really was missing that group of comrades, that group of peers.
You mentioned the word culture, and the word culture is thrown around a lot to the point where sometimes it means nothing, right? As Keller Williams agent, Keller Williams is all I know, so is Gary. And we offer so much. And because we offer so much, sometimes we forget what is it we stand for, because we've just embodied all of it. Someone who was on the outside coming in, what do you say really stands out that it separates Keller Williams from everyone else?
Oh, without question, it's that culture of sharing and wanting to see everybody succeed and grow. I've been with other brands. I was with another major franchise before I went out on my own. And one of the founding principles we had when we opened up our brokerage was we were going to collaborate. We were going to share and help each other grow and thrive. And, when I first was introduced to this, I'm very skeptical because, again, culture gets thrown around like it's a worthless word. But when I started to meet other OPs, operating partners like yourself, like Andre, like Sandy, like all the different people I've been exposed to, it was like, how can we help? How can we, what do you need us to do to help you get to where you got to go? And it was just, it floored me. It was like, wow, this just so resonates with what we've been trying to do for the last 12 years.
I find sometimes you want that for your team, your brokerage, your peer group, and unless it's being displayed at a tremendous level, sometimes you don't know how to model it, right?
Right.
And when you come to events like this and you've talked about it, and then you get around the people that you just mentioned, so the people that were just mentioned were other brokerage owners in the KW family. It doesn't necessarily have to be the KW family, but if it's not being modeled, it's tough to start that model yourself. Would you agree?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Because we're an industry that's built on, you're coached and indoctrinated that you're an independent. You're an independent contractor. You've got to do everything on your own. You can't rely on somebody else to help you out or share something because you're afraid that they're going to take it and use it against you or use it to their advantage, and you're going to somehow lose. And we've spent years trying to coach our people that real estate is not a zero-sum game. I mean, there's a lot of business to go around. There is room for people that want to hustle and work, and they can thrive.
So, as someone new into the Keller Williams ecosystem, being part of this world where you're like, this is what I've been looking for, and you've now decided to partner with us, where do you see your business going, throughout this year? Because, every indication that we're seeing is that this year will be a challenging year for most.
Agreed. Yeah, and it's interesting that you mentioned that because earlier you had said that why would I look for more challenges?
Yeah.
And the interesting thing is now that I've started to take a deep dive into the ecosystem here, I'm learning that there's a lot of leverage out there to get me out of the challenge of trying to run everything on my own and run everything independently. And that there's a lot of people that I can rely on to help me and help us through whatever challenges the market throws at us.
You'd also mention the camaraderie that you found when you came here, that, you can have conversation with business owners and they're not willing to take from you, but share so we all can grow. How are you now imparting that to your brokerage that you've started now with Keller Williams?
It compels me. It makes me want to share as much as I can with my team, expose them to what's here, and not to indoctrinate them or, sort of evangelize them, but to say here is such a massive amount of tools and systems and models that you can take advantage of. You've just got to step up to the table and be able to use them. So that's my message going back after this conference, after family reunion, is guys, like, there is so much here and so many people willing to help you get a leg up as long as you're willing to put the effort in and work at it.
I like it. Talk to us about, and we've kind of gone over this a little bit, but just on more on the surface. I want to dig a little bit deeper on this if we can, as we talk here. The group of people, or the new group of people you've been exposed to, the new group of people that your brokerage has been exposed to, and then we talked about leverage. Talk to us about why it's so important. If we want to achieve the things that we want to achieve, we all know we need to actually help others reach their goals. I'd love to hear your take on that, coming in and being exposed to new people, new ideas and things.
Wow, there's a lot to unpack there. I think it's been in my nature that I want to help. I want to see people grow, and my message to anybody that I've brought into my brokerage over the years has been, I want to help you grow. I want to help you achieve that life that you want to live. And that's, to me, again, that's where the culture of KW just fits so well with what we've been doing on our own up until this point. So it's just that desire. I want to help, and I get a lot of satisfaction out of seeing people discover, how far they can go.
I like it. Okay, so we kind of got, a little bit deep in some of those spots there, but let's lighten it up a little bit. I'd love to get your first impressions. We're at, as Colin said off the top here, we're at one of the biggest real estate conventions, yearly convention that happens at KW and even worldwide. I'd love to get your first kind of thoughts on what you've been experiencing here. There's the laughter itself. Okay, next question here.
Yeah, it's just been a total immersion. Just watching people. I love watching people, and just to watch all the different people and the way they're, interacting with each other and the energy that's in the room. It's just incredible.
Yeah.
What would be your biggest takeaway from this because I know we come to these conferences and there's a lot of information. We go to a lot of breakout and we're writing books of notes.
Yeah.
What is the one thing you're looking to implement in your personal life? What is the one thing you're looking to implement in your business?
Well, I'll start with business first, because that to me is the easier question to answer. It's really putting those models and systems into place within my brokerage to help leverage myself into a spot where I've got more time for me and to help lead and bring people along on my team. In the personal side of things, I mean, and that was just listening to Ed on that keynote speech. It's how do I do one more thing? How do I do, that little bit extra that can take me to the next level and honor people that are associated with me?
I love it. I love it. My kids who are teenagers, and same with Collins in a sense, they use the phrase, "Dad, he's just a little extra," and then they mean it in a negative fashion. But we've joked over the last several months. That's what this business needs in a sense from the positive side.
Right.
Let me rephrase that. That's what humans need from a positive side. A little bit extra, as Ed said, as you just said, one more. And Ed will use that analogy if he's working out one more rep, one more phone call.
Yes.
I here's what I know of you, and we've only just met over the last several days. This is what I see you doing, going back to your brokers and asking, what's one more that we can do? Right.
Oh, exactly.
It wasn't necessarily a question, but I'd love to kind of get an idea of, is that the message you're taking back? Are you going to be asking your teams, your agents, what is that one thing? What's that one more?
Oh, absolutely. It's what's that one more thing that the brokerage can do for you? But what are you guys going to do? What's that one extra thing that you guys are going to do to help improve your life, your business, your profitability? That has just been such a powerful question and comment that that's going to be framed and above my desk for the rest of the year. Absolutely.
It's funny because with that one more, I also look at it as in one more deal.
One more deal.
Just one more deal.
Yeah.
Like you did 26 deals last year. Let's do one more this year.
One more. Yeah.
Could you imagine if every agent in our brokerages did one more deal?
Oh, it would be, it's just...
What would that do for their lives? What would it do for the community? What would it do for the impact that they'll make in society? One more deal.
Absolutely.
That one more call. You're ready to give up on cold calling that day? Just one more call. One more door.
Yeah.
The power of one more.
I love it. Love it.
Apparently there's a book like that out there.
Yeah.
Thanks to Mr. Ed Mylet. And another great book in the KW world called The One Thing is basically filtering, you're getting rid of all that noise and focusing on that one thing.
Right.
This has been a great week to get to know you, Paul. How do people reach out to you?
Well, home group, Keller Williams, homegrouprealty.ca or Paul at homegrouprealty.ca. I'm in Guelph, Ontario, and not far from the city of Toronto. And welcome folks to drop in, call, contact me anytime.
Beautiful, beautiful. And if you're looking to buy, sell, or invest in Guelph, Paul's your guy.
There you go.
Happy to help you.
There you go. Very, very good. Well, my friends, this is another episode, and that was our episode with Paul. And, of course, that's Colin. I'm Gary, and we'll see everybody in the next episode. Goodbye for now.
Bye for now, guys.
We hope you enjoyed this episode. Make sure to click the subscribe button so new episodes will automatically be downloaded to your device. Please help us reach more people by leaving a rating and a review on your podcast player of choice. Now go make it an amazing day for somebody.